Hello peeps, Nigel here again. It's warm today, it's like 13 degrees or something, so great. Short video today. I've decided I'm going to go for a Gwyn Lewis drop arm conversion and the Sumar bars and everything. So basically what I need to do is I need to get my drop arm off of my power steering pump, which is here on the bench. So me being clever and everything, I thought I don't need to buy one of those special pullers. I can just use, you know, the split bearing pullers. So I used that and managed to break part of the puller, and the thing hasn't budged at all. I put a little bit of heat on it with a blow lamp, not with a epoxy acetylene, just with a blow lamp. You don't want to be getting anything red or discolouring anything. It hasn't even really burnt the paint. So I just tried to get a little bit of heat in it, maybe it would work, but it didn't. So I ordered this on Amazon, and this is the laser drop arm puller. It's part number 6664, and this is the 57.5mm one, and apparently this is the one for, it says here 90, 110, 130. I did actually measure mine, and so yeah, it actually says it's got a guarantee on it, and it also says on here, always grease the threaded bar. Now when you look inside this, I'm sure if you're into Land Rovers you've seen this before. What you get in the box is this puller, like this, a bolt to the centre, and you get a spare bolt as well. Now it's funny that it says on the box here, I don't know if you can read that, but it says down there that basically the bolt's not guaranteed. It's classed as a consumable item. I guess that's why they give you two. And the first thing I've noticed is the end of the bolt. We just get this out. The end of the bolt has no machining like whatsoever, so when you use it, the end of the bolt is going to mash up into the end of the spindle, and also it's got no way of self-centering, so don't really know how we're going to get around that. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this up in the lathe, and I'm going to machine a sort of a 45-degree angle on it, and then put a bit of a clearance down the side, because the problem is with that, if you do use it and mash the thread up on the end, you won't be able to actually get it out. When it comes to taking it out, you won't be able to get it out and change it if you knacker it. So little modification I'm going to do there. So I'll go and do that mod now. I'll just go over, I don't know if you can see. No, you can't, but I've got my little lathe over here. Look, you can see there is my little lathe, and I'll go and turn that now, and then I'll be back. Right, here we go. So what I've done now, you can see I've put a bit of a shape on the end of that bolt, and I've just relieved the thread back, just 1 or 2 pitches, just so that if it does mash the thread up, it will still come out easy enough. So the bolt is actually quite hard. It's a really good quality bolt. So what we'll do now, we'll get the camera down here on the bench, and we'll do this real time, and we'll see if it actually works without air tools and all that, and on the bench we'll see if it works. Right, so I've got the camera here high. Hopefully I won't go out of shot. So here's the tool. We've got the nut and the knockover washer there off. To undo the nut, I just literally put it on the floor, used a 3/4 drive socket, I think it was 1 inch and 5/16, and then just literally stood on the bar, stood on the pump, stood on the bar. This is that Corylus RF16 gloss paint, and it's amazing stuff. I've stood on this with the boots on the floor, and it hasn't scratched it. And this area here, you can see this has been heated up with a blowtorch, and the paint is still there. You can also see a bit of bruising there where I tapped it, you know, trying to use the ball joint theory of being able to knock it off. Anyway, so we'll slide this on here, and like I say, we're going to do this real time. So let's wind that back in. I have greased the thread, and I have greased the end of the shaft. So there we go. So that is in there now, and that's feeling quite positive. Kind of having a trouble getting it. It wants to sort of sit on an angle. I'm trying to get it to sit square. I guess when I start doing it up, it'll start to play ball. So yes, it just wants to sit on an angle. There we go. I'm sure that's square. Okay, so we'll see if this works real time. This is a 15/16 spanner because I don't have a metric ring spanner this big. And you can see here we've got this is an M8 bolt which goes in, which locks it all into place. And this is not working. I think I'm going to have to put a breaker bar on it, I think. Probably the biggest problem is because it's such a thin spanner. And it doesn't seem to be working. Let's just let it do its thing for a second. It might suddenly pop. I think this is probably best done on the Land Rover, and then you've got the weight of the vehicle, but I want to see if it could be done on the bench. Right, let's try something else. Right, big breaker bar. The problem I've got now is I can't hold the pump. I'm probably better off doing this on the floor. So let me get the camera re-angled and we'll get it sorted. Right, so let's give this a go. So now I can stand on it here. 1 foot on there, 1 foot on there. Something's happening, it's gone loose, so either it's stripped the thread or it's actually pulling it off. Right, let's get it back up on the bench and have a look. Well, bloody hell, it's worked. But I can literally put that spanner on there now and it's worked. Get this bolt out of here, this Allen bolt. In fact, no, I can't because I've pushed the drop arm against it. Now, I don't want to teach anybody how to suck eggs because this is all new to me as well. Looking on the website, the Gwyn Lewis website, basically you have to make sure the arm goes back in the right position. Now, this being a defender arm, it's got this slot to put a bolt in, so that is steering centered. So what I've done, I've put a pot mark there and a pot mark there, so I know that this arm will go back on there. Now apparently there are 4, yeah, you can see in here, let's try and get this focused, there are 4 master. See the wider spline down here at the bottom? There's 4 of them. So obviously it can go on any one of 4 positions. So now I know that if I should move this while I'm painting everything, when I come to put the disco arm on, I can basically put this in. So I know it's in that orientation and just put the disco arm on the same with the 4. So that have the arm in that position. If you're doing it on the vehicle, look on the Gwyn Lewis website. If you're doing it on the vehicle, basically the drop arm has to just be level with the inside of the chassis rail, so it's not dead straight, it actually turns off to an angle a bit. So there we go. Now let's have a look at this bolt and see what it's like. Let's take this bolt out. Get a piece of... Who does this remind you of? Hiya, Mike. Mike in Canada. Britannica Restorations. Now you can see there that I've put that angle on that bolt, and you might be able to see that there's some slight scoring in it, very slight scoring, but I got a feeling if I hadn't put that angle on it would have mashed up, because when you look at it, the end of a bolt is never flat. If you can see that in there, that is actually concave, so that would have mashed up and maybe even marked the end of the spindle. So now what I've got is a Hopefully I've got an unmarked spindle. Yep, and I've got an unmarked shaft. I'm going to try and show you these again. These you can see there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, and then there's one there. You've got these wide master splines, so it can go on in 4 positions. So you need to make sure you get it in the right orientation. So my suggestion is put a little pot mark. You can see I put a little pot mark there, in there. So I know that I go back, when I put that back on, just put that back on, I've got the position, and then I can actually put the Discovery arm on in the same orientation. I'm sorry guys, the light is awful in here, isn't it, for filming. Still, the weather will be brighter soon, so we'll get to look outside. But there we go. So that has been a review of the Laser 6664 57.5mm steering drop arm puller, and really impressed. It's just a shame it's about £43 I think on Amazon, and that'll probably just go in the bottom of the toolbox now and probably never get used again, so I might well sell it on eBay. We'll see. So thanks for watching. Just been a quickie. I'll see you again soon.